across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org.
Because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Black by the Man radio show. I'm your host, Brother Mike, along with my partners in consciousness. Of course, we're here with my co-host, the lovely Ms.Janice. How you doing today, Ms.Janice?
I can use a nap today.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, you feeling all right?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good? Mm-hmm. All right. And as usual, our awesome team member, Miss Samantha, glammed by Sam Dennis.
Hi.
Dennis? How you doing today, Ms. Dennis?
I'm great.
You great?
I'm great.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the Black by the Man radio show. We are back with another exciting episode for you guys. So, right off the bat, how was everybody's weekend?
Okay.
Just okay?
Good. Really good.
Really good?
Yeah.
My weekend was a mess. I was doing some moving in the rain. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I had my back against the wall, though. I had to do what I had to do. But other than that, I guess it was pretty chill. Not too bad. Nothing uneventful for you guys?
A lot of shopping. You were shopping? All day Saturday. Oh, your weekend was awesome then.
I need a new MacBook. I'm just saying.
No, not that kind of shopping, but you know,
I
just
need
a little.
MacBook. I'm just saying. All right, so before we get into current events, let's go ahead and clue everybody in what we're going to be doing today. All right, so today we're going to be talking about 5 industries that black people should dominate based on consumption. This was an article by Atlantic Star. And the second half of the show, we're actually going to have a special guest with us here today, Miss Kay Davis. She's the CEO and owner of Truffle Butter Hair Emporium, which is a natural black beauty hair salon. It's going to be opening up on Ricerstown Road. So stay with us second half of the show. She's going to be here and give you a breakdown of who she is and what her store is all about. So that's going to be exciting. But before we get into any of that, maybe we should talk some current events. It's always nice to start the show off with depressing news.
No, there's some good stuff happening. So let's go to some, it's been some good stuff. Let's go to the depressing voting. Let's go with voting last week with the mess down in Texas and Florida with Stacey Abrams wanting to, she won a count of all the ballots at this point. Of course, her running mate want her to concede, but she's not trying to do that. But she is losing by like 66,000 votes. But she's thinking like she can recover those votes with the ballots that's been that's uncounted.
It may be foul play afoot.
I don't know, but she's still upset, which she have every right to be, about all the people that were turned away from the voting polls, everything that they've done up to that point of voting to, like, what's the word?
So let me see if I'm understanding this right. So she's the candidate for to be the first black governor. and current events are saying that possibly white people may have done some things to sabotage the voting booths, the count of the votes, so forth and so on. I am so surprised.
She's very upset about it because it's pretty much, it cost her the election.
Oh, of course. Like, that's the name of the game. You know, it's a whole new show to go into depth about their political game, how it works. Should we play? Should we not play?
Right.
You know, we'll save that for another show. But you know, sister, I hope it works out for you. What I like to say on behalf of the Black by the Man radio shows, just remember the Most High, the one we call God, controls everything. So if it is meant for you to have that position, it is not going to matter what the adversary tries to do. The position will be yours. If it's not meant for you to have it, then it's not going to matter what she does. You're not going to get it.
Right. And then in Florida with Andrew Gillum, of course, you remember he conceded, but now he rescinded that.
Oh, okay. They do.
So
I didn't know they did that. I thought once you quit, you quit.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, he wants a recount of the ballots now, because his is a different story, because his is like neck and neck. Like, I think his opponent is like 49.8 and he's like 49. Like, they're neck and neck. So his is a little different because nobody actually hit the 50% mark. Yeah. So his is a little different than Stacey's. Like, in Stacey's case, her opponent actually hit the 50% mark. So,
did you hear about what happened in PG County?
What's that?
Where they didn't have enough ballots for people to vote.
Oh,
and
gosh.
They had called the race, and people were still in line waiting to vote. I forget like which area it was exactly, but they had called the race early, and not everybody had voted. And somebody that was standing in line had to go pick up ballots so that they could finish voting. Like, it was just a mess.
Wow.
Yeah. That's insanity.
And that was right in PG County, so I guess it don't really matter anymore.
So here's my question. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just strictly going off my memory, right? But like, I actually don't remember like an election like in the past 20 years that didn't have some controversy over the voting booths, over you know, the people not being able to vote, over the count. Like, is anyone seeing the bigger picture here?
Yeah, but that's why now, like, they try to get ahead of it now. They, like, at least when you doing the races now, you
You know, when you're talking about a group of people who acquired a land, right, through murder, rape, pillage, lying, cheating, stealing, everything negative under the sun is what was done to acquire this land. Is it logical for us to think that at this point in the game, with 400 years of control, that they are going to risk losing control, even over small segments, by allowing voting to be fair and honest? Like, it just doesn't seem logical with a group of people who've never done anything fair or logic. But that's just my, you know, take on it. I just find it interesting that we hang our hats on this because, you know, I don't see what everyone else sees. You know what I mean? Like, all I see is them constantly making moves that are in pattern with their history since all of us have been here.
Well, on a more positive note in voting,
talk to me.
We did have major wins in Texas with the biggest victory for black women in the county's history.
Bring my bell in.
19 black women who ran for judicial seats in Harris County won.
Yeah. Oh, nice, nice. Congratulations, ladies.
So on a more positive note, we did have some good news through voting.
All right, what else we got going on in current events?
All right, I have a teacher in Pennsylvania school district who was let back in her classroom after repeatedly using the N-word. The Susquehanna Township District said that it completed an investigation and addressed the incident. However, they declined to state whether the teacher was punished.
She wasn't.
She wasn't. That's what that sounds like to us.
She was, of course, she was suspended for a couple days while they did the investigation, but now she's back in the classroom. And this is after using the N-word around several, you know, black students several times. Even when they asked her to stop, she just continued. But, you know, now the parents and the community is upset because, of course, she's back in the classroom teaching. Absolutely.
See, I think part of the problems come in when you have situations like that is that the people who are in place to issue out the discipline or whatever's going to happen, they're in agreement with that stuff. And that's why, you know, the punishment is never swift. It's never, you know, harsh, you know, because like you're going to the other people who believe in the same thing and then saying, hey, this isn't right. Do something about this. You know, they're looking at you like, yeah, sure. We'll get right on that. We'll get right on it. What else we got going on?
That's all I have.
What about the young lady? Now, this was very disappointing to me. Like, I'm upset about this. What about the young lady that punched the older black woman, the teacher, in the face?
That was in Baltimore at that.
Was that here in Baltimore?
Really?
Wow.
I missed that. Yeah, what happened?
Craziness. I think she's one of them young ladies that lives an alternative lifestyle. Yeah. What they call them studs today.
Oh.
Is that what they call them? I'm not even being funny. That's what they call themselves, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a stud.
Okay.
So evidently she had a situation with the teacher, and the teacher was an older black woman, like old enough to be her grandmother. She punched her in her mouth.
Like dead in her mouth.
Like really punched her in her mouth like a man would punch another man.
Wow.
Yeah, like, oh, we got to do better. We got to do better. You know what I mean? Like, we got to do better. Like, I'm not sure what the you know, consequences should be for that, but it should be severe.
Yeah, there's no justification for
that.
Well,
it should be severe. Yeah. See, I think, and again, this is just my opinion, right? I think at some point, us as black people, we have to start issuing out punishment ourselves as a community of people towards these type of situations, you know, and I don't really know what that punishment could be, but what I'm saying is we cannot keep relying on other people to deal with the situations we have in our community, because they're not going to do nothing like the way they would have if she would have punched the white teacher. Now, if she'd have punched the white teacher, it would be all hell to pay, right? But because this was an older black woman, and my thing is, where are we going wrong as a people where our children are punching the elders in the face, you know, lacking the understanding that that black woman that you punched in the face is literally the only person in this society that's on your team.
I'm not even really surprised about that, because the lack of respect that the young adults have for the elderly now, it's
ridiculous. Like, what type of points did you get for that? Like, who looked at you after that and was like, oh my God, you're just the coolest? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
that's so embarrassing.
That chick. Like this is ridiculous, man. So like, I don't know what the punishment should be, but she definitely needs to face some consequences for that.
Yeah.
You know? And see, and here's the other thing. I'm gonna put this out here for this stud, right? For this stud, I want you to hear this. You better be careful putting your hands on black people. Seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying? Black people got other relatives. How do you know that that woman ain't got a nephew that's a gangbanger, a grandson that go back and forth to jail every 2-3 years? Like, you literally putting your life on the line if you think you're gonna put your hands on an elderly black woman who's there to help you, and then nothing's gonna come out of it other than you being on Facebook blowing up. You better be careful, young lady. You better be careful.
Yeah.
Black people are dangerous people.
But the way she did it, because they were trying to like push her out the door.
I'm just saying, you better be careful. People got relatives, man.
Yeah.
You cannot go around putting your hands on people and think it ain't gonna be no consequences. Like, you mess around and lose your life. You know, it's unfortunate, but we don't have a problem killing each other. We don't.
And it is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I mean, obviously the young generation have some issues right now, and they need a lot of help.
Right. I don't understand how you looking at a woman that's a reflection of your mother, a reflection of your grandmother, and then feeling like you want to put your hands on this person. Like, there's some hatred in you that deals with yourself.
Yeah.
You hating yourself because you're looking at a reflection of yourself. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad. Like I just felt like something should have been done about that immediately.
Right. That's awful.
It's insanity. It's depressing.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I was sorry to hear that as well. I was even more sorry to see it.
Yeah, seeing it.
I mean, like, she really punched her. Like, this wasn't a little, like, she cocked back. I thought it was a dude. Like, they had to bring forth the evidence. Like, no, this was a young lady.
But she was, like, halfway out the door, and then she, like, came back up and, like, hit her from, like, she came behind her and, like, hit her across the face. It was just...
Right.
A mess.
See, there was a point in time, and this was many, many moons ago, right, where, like, within the black communities, when we were doing much better and we were much more practicing group economics, if your child did something like that, the community would make you pay for it. So your family, your mother, your father, your sisters, and all that, like, y'all may be cut off from the community for a period of time, or cut off from something that the community has going on that everybody loves to participate in, or even if it was just shame, you know what I mean? Like, where people just got shamed. They said, listen, we're not dealing with you, you know what I mean? Y'all need to get y'all act together. You got your kids out here punching elders in the face. Like, what are you missing in raising your children, It's just food for thought, though, but at some point, I think we're going to have to take responsibility for what goes on within our communities without looking to other people to say, what type of punishment are you going to issue to this young lady for her behavior? Because the reality is she hit one of our people, she didn't hit, another group of people. So which means the punishment usually gets taken very lightly. Right. Taken very lightly. So that's pretty sad. So anyway, anything else going on in current events? No?
Nope.
Okay, moving on. All right, so again, let's talk about today's show. We're going to go over 5 industries that black people should dominate based on consumption. What that basically means is these are industries that we are like the #1 consumer. No. So, logically and business-minded, if you're the #1 consumer in something, you should control that. But unfortunately we don't, so we're going to go over a few of them. So, #1 is leisure. Black travel and tourism is a $40 billion industry, a big business made bigger because African Americans tend to travel in groups and use a variety of online services to help them with travel planning. Despite the hefty number, according to Michael Bennett of Black Meeting and Tourism, blacks are not capitalizing on their own spending power. All right, does this sound familiar to anyone?
Yes, very much.
So that just sounds like a bunch of fancy words to me that says we doing all the traveling.
Yes.
So what they saying?
They being the agents.
Yes.
So what they saying? Like we don't own no hotels or anything?
Yeah, like pretty much. Yep. Yep. And it's not enough of us that control. You know what I mean? That segment of traveling, being that we're like one of the #1 consumers who's doing a lot of traveling.
So we're not in top positions for it or not owning any of it. We're just traveling.
Right. Like we're at best agents, and probably not even a lot of us are agents.
I agree. We definitely travel a lot. And
yeah, I think we do travel a lot.
We always going on vacation.
I haven't been that fortunate in my life yet, but I know a lot of black people, they travel heavy. You know what I mean? Like 2-3 times a year. Oh, we was in Bahamas, we was in Jamaica, I was in Mexico. I'm like, damn, y'all living y'all best life. You know what I mean? Somebody buy me a ticket, please.
Right.
I go?
I just think it all goes back still to the earlier times when we was growing up and just we wasn't taught on how to watch our spending or money or just we're not even paying attention to the dollars that we're spending. So this is how we can come up with not owning anything in the leisure industry.
So black
this is how that happens.
We're giving them a lot of money. We're giving them a lot of money. We're not getting anything out of it.
Travel agents.
Right, travel agents, and probably the agency period. I think they're probably thinking the bigger picture.
Yeah, the bigger
not
picture.
Not even just being a travel agent, but who owns the travel agency?
Right.
And
but that's one that I wouldn't even think that we would like be heavy in. Not until you said it, but like it makes a lot of sense.
So like what?
Yeah. When I learned about it, I was like, wow, okay. I knew we were traveling. I didn't quite know we were traveling that much.
So in the leisure industry, like what approximately is our percentage? Like
I did not get the percentage.
Are we at like more of like 32% or are we down at like 11%?
They said we dominated, which I found to be interesting. I would have thought other races traveled more than us.
Oh,
but evidently not as much.
Not really. I don't think so.
They probably just traveled differently.
We travel.
We coach.
Just not first class.
They go private yachts, private jets.
Right, they traveling using their own resources.
Right.
We're traveling using other people's
Tax money.
resources.
Huh? You know we go on vacation every February and March.
Every year.
Do we?
I ain't been on vacation
Y'all
in
sure
how
about
long?
that?
Yeah, me, not me, but yeah, that's the heavy buns.
I'm trying to figure out how
We
all
do
the
our
people.
cruises
Yeah.
in like August and September.
But don't you supposed to
October,
vacation?
November.
I mean, if you work hard, don't you supposed to
Absolutely.
vacation?
do.
Absolutely. You should definitely vacation.
But you
work
should have
hard
a
for it.
vacation home when you're vacationing too. You should own something.
You know, I'm trying to be like Jay-Z. I want to be at the Clearport, not the airport.
The Clearport.
The Clearport.
Squeeze me.
Okay, so leisure's the number one, not literally as far
Oh,
as,
I thought you were going to say number one, as in like that's like number
No,
one.
just number one on the list.
Okay.
Just number one on
Because that
the
one's
list.
still surprising to me.
Yeah, this number one on the list. All right, so let's see what number two on the list is. So number two is technology, innovation, and digital. African Americans continue to be resilient in their role as early adapters of technology, as 14% are more likely to spend time on telecom internet service sites. In 2013, the Nielsen report said that 71% of blacks own smartphones, compared to 62% of the population. African Americans are 44% more likely to have total market and spend 37% of their smartphone time on social networking sites, mainly Facebook. African Americans continue to adopt new shopping technologies at a faster rate than Caucasians, with 18% using their mobile devices to make purchases as compared to 10% of Caucasians. Wow.
That one I believe.
So what are they saying? They saying we should dominate.
Right, because
These
we're spending the
businesses.
most money. So once again, it goes back to other shows that we talked about. We make the least amount of money of everybody, but we spend the most. So everybody makes more money than us, but nobody spends more money than us.
I just dislike hearing about this stuff.
Makes you feel salty at the end of the day.
Feel a little salty.
Yeah.
I just dislike reality just being
I know, right?
right there.
It can get a little depressing.
Because even though, like, I mean, of course, absolutely, you have to agree we should dominate these industries. But of course, like, we
What are we
don't
doing
own nothing.
to get there?
We don't own a lot of nothing. So,
That's
I mean, it's
definitely true.
obvious that we don't dominate it. But
Right.
But we
And I think it's
could.
great just to bring forth the information, just to kind of put it in people's heads. You never know who it might spark to do something. Like, of course, we don't expect anyone to jump up and, go get own an agency or stop using your cell phone or whatever. But it's nice to have this info because, again, some gnat flying around. We're not going to get this type of info, through mainstream media.
yeah, but it's just still a lot, because even if you want to start something, I mean, at this point, you still have to try and find a capital for it.
Yeah.
Like, where's that at? Where's the money at to even get some of these places that we should dominate?
True. Right. I think it would definitely have to be with help from, other black people who do have financially better situations.
No, that's, I
because
mean,
they're not going to just give you a business loan.
then of course,
They'll give you a car loan.
this would
Give you a
explain.
car loan for something that depreciates.
If we have to get money from other black people, then of course that would explain why we don't dominate, because
Right.
trying to get money from other
We
black
can't never
people
do
to do
nothing collectively.
anything.
We can't never do
Squeezing
anything.
blood out of a turnip.
I think it's worse than that.
Think it's worse than that?
Yeah. So.
So yeah, evidently technology and innovation is something that we should be digging further into. I find it interesting because I don't actually hear of anyone who's studying that, say school-wide. This Nat playing
Love
games.
you.
Yeah, he does. He trying to be black by the man. That's all that is. Everybody trying to get on the show for free.
Next.
But yeah, so those numbers are interesting. 71% of black people own smartphones versus 62% of white people. Wow.
And then even with the technology, you're still not that much surprised, because even in high school, the kids don't take the STEM classes. So they're not taking the technology classes or whatever. So that's probably another big reason why we don't dominate.
But if we were smart, we
in
would
that
get
industry.
into it. 'Cause that's a lot of money in technology, period.
It is, but I don't think it's brought up enough. I don't think going through school that is brought up enough to even make people even consider, like, what is that? Like, even when you hear it, you know, some people still ask, like, what is that?
Right.
So I don't think it's, you know, enforced enough in the schools, especially, you know, in the black race.
Yeah, absolutely not. Not as long as other people still control the curriculum.
Yeah, they're not telling us to, get in some STEM classes. Like, you're not hearing that much.
So I'll read a comment here. This is for my man, James Copeland. Jay Capone, what's up, brother? Jay says go on Instagram and look up Jay Morrison. He got a group where it's 1,000+ people that put their money together and buy properties. Right now they're trying to buy a town. Wow. Nice, and I am familiar with Jay Morrison. Yeah, I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel. Very nice.
Who is he?
Jay Morrison is actually from around the way.
He is.
Yeah, I'm talking Harford County around the way. And Jay doing his thing. Yeah, check him out on YouTube. But yeah, he's trying to promote, you know, teaching us, you know, about money and how we can do things to practice group economics, you know. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't take the stance, but he's definitely black by the man. I'm just saying. It's all about group economics.
Well,
you know?
I mean, it's definitely necessary today. I mean, we've fallen so far behind. Like, we need some help. Like, we definitely need as much help as we can get.
Right, absolutely.
We're just so far behind. Because even when you're going down this list, and, you know, we're not controlling these industries, but, like, just the uphill battle of thinking, how can we even get a hold of it?
Right. To
even get in the race. Like,
I
right
think
now,
projects like what Jay Morrison is doing is a good one. You get to put your money in and have some type of percentage owner, you know what I mean? And then just to know that it was put together by black people, you know, so you don't have the puppet masters over top of you, you know, saying, you know, you can't do this, can't do that, or we're going to retract the loan, you know, we're going to increase the percentage rate.
I think it's very necessary right now to just try to find something, any type of black project, just to try to get involved.
Get involved.
Like, you have to, at this point, something has to be done. Right. Like, you can't sit here any longer with your hands, you know, just tied doing nothing, like twiddling your thumbs. Like,
I think the easiest way to start practicing
you have to do something at this point.
Is to go to blackbytheman.com and get you a T-shirt, get you a wristband, get you a hoodie. That's an easy way to practice group economics. You can start with us because we're starting with you guys. Everything that we do is for you guys. We don't mind if other people tune in. That's great because we can also educate them on the things that they are miseducated on. You know, but that's an easy way to start practicing it. Go to blackbytheman.com. You know, it's one of them things. What was the quote from Denzel when he said, if you read the newspaper, you are misinformed. If you don't read the newspaper, you are uninformed. So where does that leave you at?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Right, exactly. All right, so we got 30 seconds left. So anything else on technology and innovation? I think cybersecurity is one of them that more black people need to get into. That's the wave of the future. You know, like, you know, if you get your children or even adults go to school for cybersecurity, like, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed a job somewhere.
Coding, building websites.
And all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It's just time for the takeover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? BBD is the beginning of the takeover. We are turning the tables. And along with people like Jay Morrison, as well as Miss Kay Davis, who's going to be with us for the second half of the show, we are out here trying to make moves to reposition ourselves as a people where we can start taking care of ourselves.
We're dropping these gems.
We're dropping these gems. Tune into the Black by the Man radio show.
I mean, don't y'all feel like now is the time?
Now is the time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I felt that when, you know, I created Black by the Man, you know, last year. Like, the time is perfect. I feel like it was a God sent. The Most High gave me this vision to do this. But enough about me. Anyway, we're going to take our first break. Stay with us. It's the Black by the Man radio show. We are talking 5 industries that should be run by black people based on consumption. Stay with us.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child, and believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right. So welcome back, everybody, to the Black Private Man Radio Show. In case you missed it, we are talking 5 industries that should be dominated by black people based on consumption. And what that means is we are the ones that are keeping these industries alive because we are the #1 consumers of it. So we just went over technology and innovation. So we agreed that that's something we should dive further into.
Yes.
I definitely think that we are part of the bigger hook when it comes to the new technology. You know what I mean? Like, I just had a conversation with my son. He has, what's he have, an iPhone 8, I'm going to say? 7 or 8. He's got like an iPhone 7 or 8. And he, of course, he wants to get to 10. You know, like he's 22, right? So it's not a thing we just be like, hell no, right? I just had to have a conversation with him, explain to him, son, don't get into these habits of trying to keep up with Apple. You know, like they drop a new phone every year on purpose. It's to dig further into your pockets. But what I did to convince him was I took him to our bill. And I showed him how much we still owe on that goddamn phone.
Wow.
See, you didn't have that phone in your pocket for 7 months, but you forgetting we still owe hundreds of dollars on it.
Oh yeah, I just paid mine off.
Yeah, so that's what I told him. I said, how about we get this phone paid off, and, you know, and then keep it for a little while. You know, like, don't try to keep up with every phone. You know, so if you got the 7, stick with the 7. Don't go get the 8, 9, then the 10. Pay the 7 off. Wait till they come out with the 11. Right? And then boom, you back in the game. You go trade the 7 in, get a couple dollars. But if you keep trying to, you know, I'm gonna trade my 7 in for the 8 and trade my 8 in for the 9, like they get you. So I want to teach him some different spending habits, you know, and it's not easy with younger folks. But on that one in particular, he did listen to dear old dad. I said, just hold that phone, son. And besides the account in my name, he can't do shit without me anyway.
But not only that, but not only that, at least when, you know, he's a little older, he won't have to sit here and say, well, nobody never told me.
Right. Yeah, I definitely want him to know. I don't want him to get caught up in the typical spending habits that most of us as black people, I always say below the poverty line, because most of us live below the poverty line. I cannot speak on black people who don't live below the poverty line. Now, black people tend to get offended. And you say, well, they're like, well, I don't live below the poverty line. Listen, I'm not talking about your personal situation. I'm saying as a community of people, if you look at our income, on average, we're below the poverty line. So that's what I tend to speak on because that's what I come from. That's where I've been at. That's where I'm still at. That's what I know about, right?
But then you also have to remember a lot of the bad spending habits came from when we were younger.
Yes.
From us not being taught and told as we were growing up. So it came from us taking these phones back every time a new phone came out, or running to get a new pair of shoes every time a new one came out. There was never no teachings in it. So what you're doing is actually what you should be doing.
Yeah,
which is going to definitely help him.
Habits and maybe break some habits that I came up with, most of us come up with, you know, because I don't feel you can achieve anything different if you do everything the same as everyone else. Because we already know the results that everyone else is getting.
Just think if you had a lot of that knowledge going into your late 20s or coming into your early 30s. Just think of the difference your life could have been just from that knowledge alone.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping by the time he's 32, he's going to see the habits that I taught him is going to have him living better at 32. Because Because at 32, he's very much still going to be a very young man. But if he's got different spending habits and he hasn't been trying to keep up with everybody else, he's going to have something in his pocket. You know, like my son still lives with me. He's going to stay with me. This is the plan. Until he can leave me and go buy a house. I don't even want him doing the apartment. Let's just skip that altogether. You know, go and chill with dad. You know, you stay with me, I give you that freedom. Do as you please. Obey the rules. And I'll teach you how when you leave my house, you go buy your own house.
Right. That's why it's so sad now listening to, you know, the things that we don't dominate. It's just so sad because we should.
Yeah, we should.
And
we should.
I mean, even when you come up with the reasons why we don't, like, they're not good reasons. So
right.
It's just,
and I think a lot of it, like I said, has to do with most of us don't even know this information.
True.
So just the fact of even putting this information out there, it may trigger some things in other people. At a minimum, make us conscious of things that we are doing.
Which again, sucks. Because, you know, it sucks because, you know, a lot of racists is taught this stuff from childhood.
Absolutely.
You know, we have to be taught this at adulthood. This is crazy. So it sucks.
And see, when I say that, I know it offends some black people when I say this, but I say it because it needs to be said.
Yeah.
As a black parent, if you want your child to end up in a different circumstance in their life, you cannot carry on the same habits that a lot of us carry on. And I'm referring to the spending habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, like our children want to stay fresh. That's because we as parents stay fresh. You understand what I mean? And then now it's a society thing, right? Because of social media. Whereas versus when I was young, the only way I knew other black kids was fresh is if I seen them in person. But see, now social media,
you don't even got to.
You don't have to. Now your kid want to stay fresh, and it's not even because of the other kids in the neighborhood. It's because of social media saying this is the hot gear, so forth and so on. So we're gonna have to take control of how we teach our kids to deal with their money. You know, my simple formula is look at it in an arithmetic manner. It took you 5 days to get this paycheck. It is not good arithmetic to spend it in 2. That's a -3.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Stay on the positive. So, you know, if you just look at that simple formula, don't get rid of something that took you days to get.
And I'm just happy because we do have some millennials that are actually looking at their parent situations and finding out at a young age that they don't want to be in those situations when they're older. But we just don't have enough millenniums looking at it like that. So
because if they develop better habits, they're going to teach those better habits to their children. We're going to start to change as a generation of people. You know what I mean? All right, but let's move on to the next one. So number 3 is quick service restaurants, McDonald's in particular. African Americans have a notable preference for quick service restaurants over any other group. First among them is McDonald's, followed by Burger King. Stop it. Franchises have created an opportunity for black entrepreneurs to profit from black buying power. However, minorities are a little late to the world of quick service franchising, says Gary Fernandez, president of Multicultural Food Service and Hospitality Alliance. That is because many of the prime sites have already been taken, only leaving locations that may not be as profitable as those first colonized. So that last statement, he's saying, even for us who are starting to realize that we should own a McDonald's, so forth and so on, like the Caucasians have already taken up the prime real estate at McDonald's, you know. But it's not to say you still can't have one, and, you know, I mean, put it somewhere else, you know.
That's surprising, though. I wouldn't think that we dominated in fast food restaurants.
As far as consumption.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, black people eat more McDonald's and Burger King than anybody else.
Well, damn.
And that is the worst food on the planet you can eat. I said it before, I'll say it again. I don't care who gets mad. If you are feeding your children McDonald's, shame on you.
That's because
it's too much information out here about how horrible that food is. Shame on you. Stop using it as a backdoor because you're too lazy to cook. Too lazy, you know, to get a meal for these children. Or if you want to buy food, get a better meal, because these habits, they're going to take into being an adult. So when they're 16, 17, 18 and they're driving on their own, every time they want something to eat, they're going to McDonald's because that's where you took them since they've been 3 years old. There's nothing happy about a happy meal.
I mean, they have, at this point, you have to know that. Like, you have more kids with diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol than ever.
Hypertension.
I mean, than ever. So where do you think it comes from?
Right.
It's not coming from you being at home cooking these healthy meals.
So he said McDonald's and Burger King is the #1, which
They're the cheapest, so
I
it
can
makes
believe
sense.
that wholeheartedly because, you know, every time you go buy one to get gas or whatever, like it's a bunch of us going in and going out. And that food is poison. Straight poison. But anyway, so he's saying because of that, we need to be the ones owning them. No?
I mean, I'm based on that fact, yes, but I feel like we could do better as far as the restaurant business, like.
Right. Well, I think the article is strictly based it off of what
consumption,
we consume,
yeah.
right? So if we consume sushi, he'd be saying we need to own sushi.
I'm saying in that sense, it makes a lot of sense.
Right. So we should be dominating it because we dominating it through consumption.
I'm just upset because we're not dominating it.
Period.
Right. That would be nice if we was dominating it, you know what I mean? It would be nice. So what can we do in regards to the fast food restaurants? How about this? How about, you know, like when children get jobs at McDonald's and stuff. Like college isn't for everybody, right? Somebody needs to just stay there. Just stay there, you know, stay there and put your 15 in and own it. Put your 20 in and own it, like it happens. Remember, y'all remember the McDonald's commercial back in the day with Calvin? It was like, this is Calvin's McDonald's. So,
No, I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that one? Well, what they did was they showed Calvin working at McDonald's when he was like 16. And then he like stayed there, you know, 20, 25. And then by the time he was 28, like he owned it. So he was walking to McDonald's again, but this time he's coming in with his suit on. Right. This is Calvin's McDonald's. Calvin owned it.
And I think back back then, when you had a better opportunity of owning a McDonald's or whatever, that's when we kind of dropped the ball because we should have came out with more ownership than we did.
Right.
Now, it's probably a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it may be. McDonald's is a big one. I think the last time I had checked McDonald's, you need like $2 million in seed money.
Is that all?
Yeah, no, that's.
I'm like, wait, what? That's all?
That's just to get started.
Is that all?
And they make you go to Hamburger University. You ever heard of that?
No.
McDonald's don't play. You ain't about to own no McDonald's and think you're gonna do what you want. They make you go to Hamburger University. McDonald's has what's called a turnkey system. You know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it basically means they're going to show you how to set everything up, how to get everybody hired. You got to go to Hamburger University, so forth and so on. So as the owner, the day that the store opens, all the owner has to do is put the key in and turn it, unlock the door. All the employees are going to go in and run their McDonald's. He can turn around and walk away. See, that's a turnkey situation. You know, meaning the business operates off of systems, not people. See, anyone can operate them systems. That's why when you go to a job like that, you get trained by somebody who's already there. Right? You get what I'm saying? So imagine the money they're saving. You don't have to bring in trainers. They use the people that's there. Like Samantha, can you train Janice on fries this evening? See how that works? And you just like, all right. Right?
No, really.
Right. You know? Like you see how that does. If you don't show up to work, it's no problem. Janice knows how to do fries. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's turnkey system. So it runs off systems. That's how all businesses are supposed to operate. Your business is supposed to operate off of systems, not people. If it operates off of just people, say like a sole proprietorship, the business goes under when that person goes under. Because the only reason the business was being successful was because of that one particular person. So if that person gets sick, the business is doomed. Versus if you have a business that is successful because of systems that are in place. You can interchange the people in those positions throughout that system. As long as the system is intact. So McDonald's is kind of like the pioneer of that. McDonald's like, well, we got systems. So everybody else kind of follows suit with their fast food restaurants and turn theirs into a turnkey system. You know, McDonald's is not worried about if 4 people don't show up. Because the 4 people that are there know how to work all that shit in there. Better get on fries, but I'm on nuggets. Well, you on fries too.
Well, with all of this being said, then we need to come up with our own industries that we do dominate.
Yes.
How about that?
How about the black man industry? We dominate that. We don't even know what the industry's going to entail, but we dominate it.
How about throwing parties? We definitely have to dominate that.
Listen.
You know,
can nobody throw a party like a
how about the fashion industry? Like we have to
that one I would have been like, oh yeah, event planning, we got that shit a lot.
Events, black people there.
How about the ones we do dominate?
That's not on that list because we do dominate it already. We ain't worried about that one.
We have to dominate something.
Oh boy, that is funny. All right, so number 5 is beauty and personal care. Essence 2009 Smart Beauty Research Study found that African American women spend $7.5 billion annually on beauty products and spend 80% more on cosmetics and skincare products than the general market. According to celebrity makeup artist Sam Fine, black women are spending more at the counter because there's little satisfaction. She keeps buying with the hope that this product will do what it's supposed to do. Ladies, is that true?
True.
So, very true.
Okay.
So what they saying those products never going to do what we looking for them to do?
Yeah,
so
whatever it is they saying the product is going to do, it ain't working out for y'all. so they keep bringing in more products.
I mean, it's very true. You're always looking for a better product.
A better product, right. That's what they're saying. So $7.5 billion is what black American women spend.
That sounds about right.
Right. That's about right.
It's just in the hair store yesterday. So.
I'm not even going to sit up there and try to.
So that's not even debatable. Huh?
Yeah. No, black women spend a lot of money for their hair. We should really be like owning everything that has to do with like
that's definitely true.
And that's what's going to make it great about our guest today, Miss Kay Davis, because she is opening the Truffle Butter Hair Emporium in Ricerstown Road here in Baltimore.
Awesome.
And it is a natural beauty hair store.
Even better.
Can't wait till she comes and be able to give you guys some more information on it. We'll chop it up with her. So she fits perfect into this. You know, the beauty and personal care.
Because you know the natural beauty is making more money now. They're making more money than they've ever made. And this started turning since what, like 2009. But like back in 2009, they was making like 10 million. Like they're at like 150 million now. Like
now you telling black women it's all natural and
the natural hair industry has like kicked off. They saying by like 2020.
Have also put a dent in something good with the relaxers. You know, the relaxers, they're like down like $37 million.
You can't pay black women now to get a relaxer.
Relaxers and the weaves.
Yes,
they're down.
Yeah, so that is actually down.
So that's good.
But yeah, it says that black women spend 80% more on cosmetics and skincare products than the general public.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
More than the general public. That's a lot.
It is.
But with that being said, it's even more reason why
we should be dominating.
Yes. Right? Should be dominating that. Absolutely.
Yeah, black women should definitely be dominating that.
Right. There shouldn't be no more Asian run hair stores, beauty supplies.
No. We should be able to take them out of business.
Yeah, and that's the goal. You know what I mean? I can't wait to speak with her about that. That is the goal, you know, to take that industry back. Because Asians should not own that industry. You know, now, I'm not going to say I'm mad at the Asians, right? Let me rephrase that. I am mad at the Asians, but not because they took over the industry.
Yes.
I'm mad because they took over the industry and then they're disrespectful to us, right? But I can't be mad that they took over the industry because we let them do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's no need of me being mad at Asians about that. What I am mad about is the lack of respect that you have for us when we're the ones who's providing you your lifestyle. We're the ones that's allowing your so intelligent Asian child to be going to that private school, to go to that Ivy League. Like, you got that money from us while you was in the store watching us and making us feel like we stealing suspects and the whole nine. So they deserve to lose it just because of the lack of appreciation that they've had for us. Like, they don't take and have a community day twice a year and say, hey, listen, you know, twice a year we have a community day where we let people come and get, you know, I don't know, free wave caps. God damn it, I don't know. You know, free hair, bottle of blue magic grease or something. They don't do nothing because they don't respect us that way. It's literally, give me your money and get out of my store.
Basically.
Yeah, so we need to take that back from them because they have not been respectful, and the research that I've done on it, they don't even try to let black people in it. You know, so they got it so on lock. They're trying to stop you from actually getting into that industry. So it'll be interesting to find out what her route was, Miss Davis, that got her. Well, she's actually got her store coming up.
And on that note, I think one of the biggest black hair beauty I think it's called Maven. They just raised like $23 million.
Oh yeah?
Something
What's
like
it called?
that. Maven. Mayven.
And it's a black beauty store?
It's a black, yeah, let me get back to you on that.
Okay. So let's talk about our experiences with these stores. Good experiences, bad experiences. My experience is always bad.
Every time?
I go in there with the right attitude. I just don't like the way they treat us.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a master barber, so I'm supposed to get a 10% discount.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to see my license every time I come in there. You know, even though it's the same damn store. You know what I'm saying? The same damn people. I can talk a little trash. I'm like, look, I'm tired of pulling my license out every time I come in there. You see who I am. You know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to act like we all look alike. God damn it, y'all look alike.
No, seriously, no.
You know, stop trying to insult us.
Oh gosh, I cannot.
You just always feel like you're like unwelcome every time you go into Asian-run beauty supply.
Yeah.
Like you're being watched and followed. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Of some people that wouldn't be able to thrive without your money.
Yeah.
So this is how they say thank you for it. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like it either. It's not a good. They don't have good body language, good attitudes, anything.
I think what it shows is that they don't like us as a people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't hide it.
But so then why are you here?
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Right.
I mean, you ever even get the feeling like they think like it's a privilege for you to even be in that store?
Yeah.
Like it's a privilege that they allow you to come through their doors? Like that's horrible. Like it's a privilege that we're coming through to even spend our money here.
Yep.
But that's not the way they make you feel. And so I don't like it.
Not a good time, that's for sure.
It's not a good time? All right, let me share this way, gal. Facebook is giving us the blues today, everyone.
I thought it was just me.
Nah, they're giving us the blues.
Facebook? No.
Damn you, Facebook.
Like, damn, I don't know what's going on.
Damn you, Facebook.
Tripping.
We'll send out some of these links here. Facebook said we don't want them talking about this show today.
I can't even pull it up.
It's not letting you pull it up? We're experiencing some technical difficulties today here, folks. Stay with us. Here at the Black Body Man Radio Show.
Yeah, so Maven, it's a black-owned hair brand, and they've raised $23 million in venture capital, which was great because there are a lot of stylists who's actually talking about Maven. I think they do everything from hair products to hair extensions, like you name it in the hair industry, they sell it.
You name it.
You name it,
they got it. Greens, potatoes, tomatoes. Oh, I'm sorry.
You name it. Yes, you name it.
Out here.
They have it. So I feel like we should be taking that industry back as well. So hopefully, you know, with this whole natural hair movement, maybe we can start getting the beauty industry back.
I think we're definitely on that road. You know, like ever since I did the little research, and there's two other sisters that like opened up a regular beauty supply store, and they got a couple of them now. And I'm like, okay, so the sisters are waking up. God, you gotta love the awakening.
Yes.
I love the awakening. We waking up. We waking up.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
We are waking up.
I mean, just think about it. Like how many, like Sam, like even when you walk into the agents now, like when you're trying to find some products for your natural hair, like they don't have it.
No.
And don't let them try to sit up there and explain
like,
to
but
you.
the relaxers don't outfit.
Ask them about a relaxer or a weave. They got plenty of hair up on that wall that they can show you.
You better go on to Walmart. They got a bigger selection.
All kinds of hair, all types of perms or whatever. They can tell you about that stuff, but they won't tell you about your natural hair. That's why we having such a big issue trying to get it together.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Stuck in your head, huh?
Chicken, turkey. They got it all up in there.
A mess.
Facebook, shame on you.
No, seriously, is it just me, or is it? Can you even load it?
No, Nate said that we're having some problems.
Oh, God.
Facebook giving us the blue. Facebook said the BBD radio show ain't happening today.
Yeah, because it's not even live. I don't think we own.
They doing us real dirty.
Can I run The bathroom. Since we not all.
Going to break, Nate?
Oh, we're on commercial.
All right, stay with us if you're with us. We'll be back by the Bed Radio Show.
Are we still live?
We always live.
Business owners, need more customers? Offer fantasy sports contests and generate more sales. Restaurants, bars, hotels, auto dealerships, real estate offices. Whatever your business, fantasy sports contests can help you increase your sales and bring you more loyal customers. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. Our software lets you customize contests fast and easy for your brand. That's right. Visit Fanify.com or call 888-55-SPORT. That's 888-55-SPORT or visit Fanify.com.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know, so you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it, eventually it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because that a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
but what if you?
I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you
like,
let?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money
it's
on.
Unrealistic. I'm sorry,
it's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council. Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We back. We doing it. You know we is. All right, so welcome back, everyone, to the Black Body Man Radio Show. We do apologize. We're having some technical difficulties. Evidently, Facebook is going through some problems. We're unable to load our pages. But we are still live on YouTube at Be Exposed Radio. So please hurry over there and join us. I've sent out some links to everyone so you can link up with us. But we are still live. And we were last talking the beauty industry, right? So we do have another one that I didn't cover yet. And this one is entertainment and TV.
We don't already?
I'll read it for you. It says African Americans watch more television than any other group at 7 hours and 17 minutes per day, compared to 5 hours and 18 minutes of viewing for the total market. God damn.
Right. Come on. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
Who gave these numbers out?
Somebody lied.
According to a 2013 report by Nielsen, a 2011 report by Couser Family Foundation found that black kids consume 4.5 more hours of media every day than their white counterparts. What do you think? Is that true?
Yes.
I think that might be true too.
I think that's true.
With very little programming featuring black child actors and cartoons with black superheroes, the adults aren't faring much better. Gone are the days of ABC's My Wife and Kids, Fox's The Bernie Mac Show, and the CW's Everybody Hates Chris. The number of scripted live action shows on broadcast television with all or majority black cast is 0. All right, so once again, we watching more telly than anybody else, being more active, but yet ain't nothing there for us, right? And we don't own nothing.
That's one that we should definitely like dominate.
Pretty much, because all the top shows, I mean, you only got one black actor or actress on it. The rest of them, forget about it.
Well, the black shows, they tend to make sure are negative. You know, so even though, you know, take for instance, people are in love with power, right? And I get it, it's entertainment. But consciously, it's just another drug dealer show. It's another show portraying a black man or black people having success, not through intelligence, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but through drugs.
And violence.
And violence, right?
Yes.
So whether it's power or what's the other one? Empire. See? More drug dealers, right? You know, so this is all being done by design, and that's what they're saying in the article. They're not giving us the real deal. You know, like I was home Saturday, watching Good Times.
Good Times.
I was watching Good Times and was having a good time. Shout out to James, the best black dad to ever be on television. James was real. You know, not that I didn't like Cosby and you know the other ones, but they were more middle class black people. So we kind of related to them in the hopes and dreams of how we want things to be, right?
Yeah.
James was that real deal. You know, I don't think Cosby ever took his belt off. James did. James took his belt off.
So you can relate to that one.
Yeah, you can relate. And they was struggling. You know, like I think that was the whole theme that, you know, black people, you know, we come up in these poverty-stricken situations, you know, but we still keep family intact and, you know, we still eat. So for us, it's still good times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're used to it. And I think that was the theme of the show. So yeah, all of us kind of related to that, especially being younger. That was kind of shot in like the 70s, I believe. You know, so I was a kid during the 70s. So, you know, you really related to it. I don't think he was around yet.
Nah, I wasn't even a thought, man.
So yeah, they're saying we don't have shows like that no more.
We definitely don't.
We don't. And when they gave that list with My Wife and Kids, Bernie Mac show, Everybody Hates Chris, I never even realized like those shows are gone. Like they don't bring out new shows like that. Now they did bring out one with David Allen Greer, right? What was that show called? It was on for a minute. The Carmichaels.
No, I didn't watch that.
Right? Carmichael. Exactly. It was only on for a minute. Exactly. It was only on for a minute,
I
right?
was say I never heard. But they have a new one.
I just happened to see an article where David Allen Greer was saying the reason why the show got canceled is because basically they wasn't letting him be black enough. Like the things that he was doing and putting into the show as the writer, the chief character, and a comedian, they thought was too black. So he refused to budge. He was like, if you're not going to let me keep it real and be black, then I'm not doing it. You know how these Caucasians are. Have a good day.
Damn.
Send him on his way. So yeah, so that was one. What else we got going on?
What about OWN? Is OWN a black station?
Yeah, Oprah.
Yeah, I'm saying, isn't that this channel with the have and have-nots come on there?
Yeah, you got Tyler Perry on there and all that.
TV
I haven't watched the have and have-nots before, but it looks like it's probably entertaining. You know, I'm sure we're the have-nots on there.
I mean, of course, it's not enough. That's why we sitting here and have to brainstorm just to come up with some shows. But I think BET have the Blackish one on now.
Yeah,
right?
Blackish is like a more popular one now.
Okay.
So tell me what the angle is on Blackish. I kind of got an ideal, but I don't really know.
Oh, I don't know because I don't watch it.
Because I don't know what Blackish means. I mean, I know what it means. Like if we say it, you know, like
You're
the
blackish.
black person, you're black in color, but you know, the mindset could be more European, so they're kind of blackish. Yes. So is that what they're saying with that show?
Yeah, I don't.
I just know it's a new. I just know it's a show on BET.
I'm
not one of those 7.5-hour watchers.
Because BET's not even owned by black people no more, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
think so
almost
either.
sure it's.
But I like the older shows better.
Bob
anyway.
Johnson sold BET, right?
They did. They sold it.
Didn't he sell it?
Yeah, BET's not like owned by black people no more. It's owned by white people.
So that's why it's like trash now. But
Sure, absolutely. I mean,
they're trying to make a comeback.
With everything, whether it's the NAACP, BET, whatever. Like it's Caucasians that's behind there. What better way to control people than when you feel, you know, they're going to erupt? You provide them with something to put that energy into.
Yeah.
Right? And you control that. Again, that's another show. I'll read a comment here, though. This is from my man, Isaac Clayton. Big up, Ike. What's good with you, brother? He says, yeah, media threw us a bone with a bunch of shows with culture, then turned it into a tool of negativity. Absolutely. Weaponized. Hashtag weaponized. Absolutely. I think they're doing a really smash up job with black women, you know, because they're making sure that they portray black women in a negative light at all times.
Always.
You know, so you could be on social media and you could see two young black girls, both poor, right? No money, and they're on there fighting, right? And everybody's like, oh, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Which I agree it is. And then you can turn on Love and Hip Hop and see two black women who are filthy rich. They fighting too.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? They fighting too. So they're not into trying to show images of our women in a positive light. And if you really peep them shows, whenever they get someone on there that's not of that, like what comes to mind for me is Tootie from... what was the show back in the day?
Yeah. Facts of Life.
Facts of Life. Right. There you go. When Tootie from Facts of Life was on, what was it, Hip Hop in Atlanta or something?
No, she's on Real Housewives.
Housewives of Atlanta, right? She just was too positive. She wasn't ratchet enough. You know, and I felt bad for. I seen the episode where she was like really upset because they went traveling, and she was crying and she was saying, I hadn't been away from my wife. Haven't been away from my husband and my kids this long before. This is the third day without him, and she was upset. And like the only person that was even sympathetic was Phaedra. All the rest of them was like, she on some punk shit. You know what I'm saying? Like soft ass. You know, like it was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I knew like, oh yeah, she ain't gonna be here long. So she wasn't negative enough. She wasn't negative enough. Wasn't negative enough at all. So,
I just think it's a shame anyway, because with all that black women is doing today,
absolutely,
they still want to.
Number one, educated.
Yeah, they still want to portray this negative image of us,
right?
By putting those things like that on TV, reality TV, and then putting us in the spotlight like that.
Absolutely, and and I understand our concept of secure the bag. But at the same time, it's like, I know you got to secure the bag.
But at what price? Like, what are you willing to give for it?
You know what I mean? Like, you're willing to, have this, make yourself look bad, us as black women, just so you can make sure that you get a certain paycheck. So I get it. It's a tough situation. It puts our backs against the wall, And, people want to get their paycheck. They want to get their paycheck. So I think they're purposely making sure they portray black women in this light, because when you look at black women being the most highly educated of all people right now, black women are more educated than black men, and white women. But yet you're not seeing any of that on television.
Never.
All you're seeing on television is black women who are willing to basically do anything, shake their ass, twerk, you know what I mean, have sex, whatever, to get money.
Damn.
And fuss and argue and cuss each other out. And that's done by design. And the sad part is they have our young ladies looking up to these women, walking around wanting to be like these women.
Yeah.
So when they see these women handling situations with just rage and emotions, that makes them think it's okay to be that way. Before you know it, you got little girls punching black teachers in the mouth.
Ooh.
See how that works?
Ooh.
See how that works? So entertainment and TV. So how about that, we are, 7 hours and 17 minutes per day? Compared to 5 hours and 18 minutes.
For everybody else.
Everybody.
I can remember what it is.
We're beating everybody.
Oh, where do you find the time?
Yes.
Right. Thank God for the Black by the Man radio. Hey, there she is, Miss K. Davis. Come on in. Have a seat. Welcome.
I feel welcome. Thank you.
Yes, welcome to the Black by the Man radio show. So for everyone tuning in with us, our guest is here. This is Miss K. Davis. How you doing today?
It's over there.
Yeah, camera's right there.
Internet.
So she's the owner of Truffle Butter Hair Emporium. It's going to be the first natural hair store in Baltimore, opening up on Ricestown Road.
Yes, we were just talking about that.
Yes. We got clap for you. So welcome to the BBD radio show.
Thank you for having me.
So you're having a little trouble finding parking?
Thank you.
Yes.
I know.
Also, I got confused because I remember you guys, this was somewhere else.
Yes.
And so I immediately started to head that way, and I said, this is not the right way.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I need to count. And I found the building.
Yes, we are definitely glad that you found us, and welcome to the show.
Yes.
So let's get into this.
Yeah, let's get right in. I see y'all got my thing.
It is black love in here. Black love in here.
I understand. I love it.
So why don't you go ahead and tell the audience who you are and what you got going on.
Okay, my name is Kay Davis. I'm owner of Truffle Butters Hair Emporium, because we got a lot of butters. Okay?
Yes.
And I am opening up the first, let me not say first. I am opening up the only one right now, natural beauty supply store in Baltimore City.
Nice.
I think it's a good thing that it's woman-owned, because this is our industry, this is our lane.
Yes.
And so many times we see that they're owned by non-black individuals, and it's usually men. Not knocking the guys, not saying, that guys can't, know anything about hair or anything, but we know that when it comes to the beauty industry, it's predominantly, that's a woman's world.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm doing right now. Now
we love it.
Ribbon cutting for this actual event is taking place this Saturday. So that is the 17th at 12 noon. And it's going to be at my store. It's 5505 Reisterstown Road. For those who are in the Baltimore area, you may be familiar with the MVA. I am just less than a block from there.
Nice.
Town Road.
Makes it easy to find.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
We are so proud of you.
Yes, yes.
I'm proud of myself. When I tell you it is not, you know, an easy thing. I mean, starting business, period.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Starting business is a big thing. It's a challenge. Doing it on your own is a challenge. But to add the beauty supply world as part of that is also, it adds an additional, you know, challenge.
Very nice, and congratulations.
Definitely.
So let me make it official for you, though. Okay, so Kay, this is my co-host, the lovely Ms.Janice.
Okay.
And this is our awesome team member, Miss Samantha, played by Sam, who you're already a little familiar with.
Yes, I can tell because the face is beat, honey.
I
was like, that gotta be her. The face is beat too, but I can tell that.
Yes.
Yeah, Sam is glam by Sam.
Yes.
Glam by Sam. So for those listening in, I'm going to give the address again. The store is called Truffle Butters Hair Emporium. She's at 5505 Reisterstown Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21215. Your grand welcome is on the 17th, correct?
Yes, and it is the mayor, Mayor Catherine Hughes will be officiating my ribbon cutting.
Very nice.
Thank
you, guys. That's right. Sister's gonna work it out.
We need that extra push.
Yes, yes, we do.
She understands that, and I spoke with their office, and they were more than happy to do it.
That's right. We have to support each other. I mean, like, I call it the awakening.
Yes.
You know, we are beginning to awaken. You know, this is the flip side of all the horrible things that we're seeing through social media, for instance, right?
Yes.
It's waking us up and say, some of us are saying, you know what? It's time for us to start doing for us, because we clearly see that it's not working out depending on others, right? And let's take back the things that belong to us. And I just want you to know I'm proud of you, you know, because I'm waiting for the rest of the sisters to take over all.
And I want
we were just talking about it.
I want to teach all of y'all. If y'all want to open a beauty supply, come to me. Didn't I give you a couple little jewels?
That's right. You
Shop gems.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. Yes, she did.
And I'm just like, I just want to, like, I feel like if I could just lift everybody up, like, not that I have a problem with winning, but I want to see others winning with me.
Yes,
absolutely. Like, I want to pick others, the motivated individuals. I would love to pick them up, help them out, and show them like the blueprint to get something like this started.
Yep.
Right.
So when you started this journey, did you find it difficult finding support?
It is difficult finding support. Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't really like to put that out in the air because it is a negative connotation to black people. It's basically saying that black people do not support black businesses, whereas I guess statistically there is truth to that, but I am going to I'm not going to have that in the forefront of my mind that we don't support each other or we do not want to support each other.
I like that.
I'm only going to pour positivity into my business, and anyone that comes in that business, I'm going to pour positivity into them as well, because I feel like what you get, what you put out. So I think if you have this mentality all the time, black people don't support, black people don't, as soon as if a black person do it, then you know nobody's going to support. If you have that in your mind, that's exactly what's going to happen.
That's going to be the result. I like that.
Exactly. But to be theoretically, yes, it is hard to get support. I have to work twice as hard. I have to have a website. I have to have a social media presence. When you compare that to other beauty supply stores, they do not have to have that.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a reason behind it. You understand? But I do not let that stigma be at the forefront of my thought process or my, my day-to-day.
Right, you're not going to let it attach itself to you.
Exactly.
I definitely understand that. So what are some of the hardships that one would face, like getting into your industry?
So kind of, well, no, I'm not going to say it's all that. Some of the hardships has to do with what I just mentioned in the support aspect. But I would say the bulk of the hardship is the fact that the distribution. Okay, so this industry is a 3-level industry. You have manufacturing, you have distribution, and then you have retail. And so I'm on the retail level.
Okay.
And that's what most people know is just the retail. People don't really know the grimy experience that comes along with the distribution side, which is not black owned. Neither is the manufacturing side. It is not black owned. And because of that, it makes it extremely difficult for black entrepreneurs looking to get into that industry to get distribution. Okay. But I will tell you this, once again, piggybacking off what you're saying, that the internet/social media world, it is a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
Because of social media, it has enabled a lot of black entrepreneurs to get their business off the ground. And I basically curved past the Koreans,
yes,
and the Asian base. I curve right around them. Don't have nothing to do with them. And it's thank God for the internet, the research that I've done and had access to, to be able to do that.
Yeah, we actually spoke on that before in a couple of shows, and how social media is doing exactly that. It's opening doors and allowing people to have opportunities to expose themselves as well as develop their business without having to go over those obstacles that you talked about.
Exactly.
So that's a great thing. And of course, we promote social media. It would not be a Black by the Man radio show if it was not for social media. So we are pros of social media, right? And we know that social media is the type of tool where it can be used positive, it can be used negative. So we try to promote using it in a positive manner, the same way you're doing it, and that's just great. That is great. So, talk to me about Baltimore's Black Heritage Week.
Okay, yes. I sit on the planning committee for Baltimore Black Heritage Week. That is a week of observance for the Marcus Garvey, big up my Garveyites. Okay.
The red, the black, the green.
That's right.
That's
right. You got it. So that is an observance week of Marcus Garvey and all that he has done for the diaspora, the black diaspora. And so we had our first we had our second fest for that at Morgan earlier this year. That was in August.
Nice.
So we'll be doing that again. So it's a festival. It actually fell 1 week after AFRAM. So it was a good week. You had AFRAM, and then you had a week too where we basically were encouraging people to support more black entrepreneurs, more black media, and all of those things. And then we closed the week off with the festival that was at Morgan State.
Nice, nice.
Dope. So we was all the way black.
I know that's right. That's right. That's the big thing right there.
That's the class right there.
And that's the main reason, like in our brand, right? Black by demand. The word black is put forward first because I want people to get away from thinking that's a negative word. You get what I mean?
It's a beautiful word.
Right, it's a beautiful word, but in this society it's been attached to everything negative. So as soon as you hear black, blackballed, right? You know what I mean? The blacklist. You get what I'm saying? Everything black, is negative. So I made sure that we put that first and foremost, because that's something we should be proud of. We should not run away from that. Shouldn't run away from that, right?
So with the beauty supply store, was that a personal interest for you, or is that just a business decision for the beauty supply store?
Girl, hair is a personal business for every black person.
No, I'm saying like as far as oh my goodness. Yeah, as far as hairstylists and growing up, you love to do hair or
Listen, people, I need y'all. I need y'all to send me the cosmetologist, send me the makeup artist and all those people. I don't have that type of background. But I have a business background and I have a marketing background. And so once I did a thorough research of this industry and I saw how lucrative it was, don't sleep on the industry. Not because you see a bunch of people that run this type of business that look like they don't have anything. They have a lot. And it's thanks to us. Okay? It is a very lucrative industry. So when I was saying, I wanted to start my own independent business, you know, I was researching and I fell in love with that industry. One, because it is almost a 98% black consumer base, and the beauty, everything that's in a beauty supply store, anyone that I'm connected with, they buy. Everyone I know purchases something from a beauty supply store. You understand?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it made sense to me as a business to construct a business like that or be a part of a business like that, because everyone shops at the beauty supply store.
Yes,
especially in the industry where you can clearly see it's dominated by a different group of people.
Correct.
So,
but that was the difficult part of it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, where do you think we went wrong as a people where we don't dominate this and we allowed someone else to step in and dominate an industry that's about us?
So I would say, yeah, we kind of did. I wouldn't say that we allowed, like, we kind of did, but we kind of didn't. There were some, and this is just some, y'all gonna have to Google this on your own, okay? But there were things that were done maybe about 60 years ago, put in place in terms of how products were imported from China, which is remember I told you guys there's 3 levels to this. You got the retail, distribution, and manufacturing. Well, the Koreans have the distribution and the retail. China does the manufacturing. So all the
makes sense.
you know, braiding hair, synthetic wigs, tons of products are made in China, and so there were some tariffs put in place. This was about 60 years ago, that were put in place that kind of messed up the flow of import of certain products coming into America, and that put a big damper on the black business owners who originally owned the beauty supply stores.
Okay.
And at first it wasn't even really like beauty supply stores. It was stylists that used to sell the products. You would go to your hairdresser to find out what's the best product.
I remember those
where to
days.
get it, how to get it. Your barber, they would be the ones that had the oils and the butters and stuff like that for you to use in your hair. And so it was a number of things that happened. Some governmental, and some was at the fault of black consumers not supporting their own, you know, other black entrepreneurs in that industry. So that's mainly the reason.
Okay, you definitely educated us on that. That's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping for.
Good old Google.
That's right. That's
They don't
right.
have a school for this. There's Google for this.
So now your store is a natural haircut store, right?
I niche it as a natural hair products and skin products, but I have a lot of the traditional beauty supply
That's
products.
what I was going to ask you next. Will there be traditional beauty supply products in there as well?
Yes, you can come in there and get your hair dyed. Fellas, you can get your, what's it called?
Beijing,
You
yeah.
can get your Beijing.
No, don't
encourage that. I hate that. Don't encourage that.
That's why I need to know that. I'm about trade, so I need to come see you.
Yeah, no, we have the dyes, we have wigs, we have hair, we have, you know, we have a lot of the traditional beauty supply products or items, I should say, but we specialize in natural products. So there is a large inventory in my store of natural hair and skin products.
Nice.
So I'm talking soaps, butters, hair products, hair growth products, which is really, really big, deodorants, natural stuff. So I have a lot of, it's a mixture. It's a place that you can come and just get a number of things.
Nice.
For you, your children, so on and so forth.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, so we are up on our next break. Stay with us, y'all. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are here with our special guest, Miss Kay Davis. She's the owner of the Truffle Butters Hair Emporium here in Ricerstown Road, Baltimore City. We'll be back.
That just flowed.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, the sports radio show at BExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or BExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good. They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals they're like one of the worst teams in the major leagues baseball right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer have the top record. It belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland, we got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and Hey,
this is Mark, just a bit outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Black Body Man Radio Show. And in case you missed it, today we were talking about 5 industries that should be dominated by black people based on consumption. So we actually did personal care, which is perfect, with our special guest today, Miss Kay Davis. She's the owner of the Truffle Butters Hair Emporium, and it's going to be her grand welcome on the 17th. The address is 5505 Ricerstown Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21215. Make sure you guys come out and support this sister. She will be having the mayor, Catherine Hughes, a part of the ribbon cutting ceremony, and this is just awesome sauce.
Seriously.
It is awesome sauce, right? So, talk to us, Miss Davis. Tell us about your sponsors.
Okay. Now, I do have a number of sponsors that I would like to recognize because they have done phenomenal things with me. One is Black by Demand Radio. I want to big up Gordon Transportation. They're a big transportation company here in Baltimore. Nice. And they have been very generous to me and in helping me get everything put together. Kamoze Shea.
Yes. Kamoze Shea. Thank you, brother, for recommending Miss Davis to, reach out to her brother. I appreciate that. That's how we do, right? That's that networking.
That's right. I want to say to Langston Hughes Community Center. They are actually a non-profit organization that I will be donating a portion of my revenue to on that day. So on the 17th, when I do the grand opening, a portion of the revenues will be donated to them. The person in charge of the Langston Hughes Community Resource Center is Mr. George Mitchell. And guys, he is doing wonderful things in the community. He has a whole center that's there for the young people. They got Wi-Fi in there. They got they have tons of stuff, activities that they do there for the kids, and I think it's wonderful that they're doing. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure I supported them, and they support me as well.
Very nice.
Baltimore Black Heritage Week. big ups to the ladies of my planning team that orchestrated all of that, put all of that together. I wanted to also big up to Yuzuri Wellness. She is up in Pikesville, and she does tons of stuff for women, massage. It's a spa-like environment. And there's one more that I am going to look up.
Okay.
And make sure I have it. But once it comes to me, I'm going to big her up too. I have another sponsor. Who else? Tashi's Ankh. You guys like Caribbean food?
Absolutely.
Tashi's Ankh is providing food for my event on
She's from the
Saturday.
islands.
Yeah, I'm an island girl, so
you know about the jerk chicken. Look, I'm an island girl too. Tashi's is, you know, providing food and everything for us, so that's great. And I think I have 2 more, but I'm gonna double check before I'm not leaving anybody out. And I'm going to double check the name because I don't want to massacre the name.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So we're definitely looking forward to your grand welcome. And Ms. Samantha Plan by Dennis is going to be.
I'm so excited for this. Like, you understand, I'm
standing
standing
here
just
we will be there supporting.
Yes.
It will be wonderful.
That's what we want, the beautiful women. We want all the beautiful ladies to come in.
Yes.
And just get beautified and, you know, give me a good start.
Yes, right.
To business, because you know what, we're going to dispel that whole myth of black people not supporting black people.
Yes, let's put it into it.
Yeah,
let's put it into it.
I'm so determined to get rid of that notion. It's not even funny.
That is the BBD way right there. We getting rid of it. We pushing support. So let's talk a little bit. So let me ask you, so what do you think are some pros and cons of being a business owner, especially as a black person and even more as a young black woman?
So let's touch on being a woman.
Okay.
It is extremely hard. Do any of you ladies own businesses?
I just started.
You just started? Okay, welcome to my world. It is extremely hard for women to get funding. Okay, it is not a joke out here. It's very hard for women to get funding. You know, before you would think that it's a myth, it's not a myth. There is a lot of truth to that. A lot of businesses that women like to do, like spas, or beauty supply stores and things like that, men who are typically the ones providing the loan, whether it's them being the grantor of an institute, a banking institute, a lot of times they don't understand what the heck we're trying to open, and as long as they do not grasp the concept and they cannot see how they're going to get their money back, they will deny you.
They're not going to play ball.
Yeah, they're not. But if a guy goes in and like, okay, I'm going to start a construction company. Easy peasy, right? That's straight to the point. But you know, it's very hard because the funding industry is a male-dominated industry. It is extremely hard for women to get funding.
Right.
And it's sad to say that, but it is. And
it makes sense.
That has nothing to even do with race. I mean, yeah, of course, we know race is part of it as well.
Right.
But
this is a gender issue.
It is. And I'll tell you what. I used to be a financial advisor with World Financial Group, and I was an independent representative, and you know, things in that industry was okay, all right, but it is a male dominated industry and predominantly a white male dominated industry, and it was very difficult for women to break into something like that. So it all makes sense.
They had to break into the good old boys club.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I definitely think having sisters in positions can help other sisters, because like you said, the males are going to relate to a male-dominated type proposition, you know, like you said, construction.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, construction, I know what this can do.
Right.
But if you was to have sisters in place and then you say, well, I'm trying to open a natural hair emporium, see, that sister can relate to that.
She'll be like, oh,
yeah, like, girl, I'm going to help you get this done. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
I do, and that makes absolute sense. Let me flip my page here. So let me ask you, what is the message that with your business, right, that you want to send to the black community, other than, you know, natural hair products and taking care of yourself? You know, is there any other message you feel like You being in this position, you know, opening a natural hair store, being a young black woman who's out here striving, showing intelligence, as you say, stepping into the good old boys club, you know, what's the message you want to send, you know, to the community?
Well, I think one of the messages that I want to send is that we can do this. It is, don't be scared to step out. We can do this, and that it is nothing. There's nothing wrong with supporting your own first.
Yes.
As I
so
said,
glad you said.
You know,
because that's something I think we struggle with.
It is. It's like people do not grasp the concept. And again, black people, black consumers are not used to seeing a black person behind a beauty supply.
Right.
It has not registered yet. You know, the awakening that you say is happening,
Right.
it's happening in bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces, yes.
And I think it's time for it to happen in the beauty supply industry. Because as you were saying, 5 industries that black entrepreneurs should be a part of. I hope the beauty supply was one.
It was.
It was. Okay.
Yes, it was.
And I'm telling you, based on my research, single-handedly, we are the ones that's supporting that industry.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not saying in other communities that they do not have beauty supply stores. They do. But still, if you compare the revenues in a inner city beauty supply store versus one that is, I don't know, out in North Dakota somewhere, you will see there's a vast difference in the revenue there, okay? And that is because 98% of the consumer base is coming from black people, okay? And there's no other industry that can say that. Like even the other 4 industries that you guys talk about, other people do it. If it's cosmetic, other people do it. If it's a salon, other races do it. But we are 98% of the consumer base is coming from black dollars, and no other industry can actually say that.
Right. I've seen a video on Facebook. This was a couple months ago. I want to get your take on this. So it was a beauty supply store, right? And the Asians treated a sister very bad, put their hands on her, so forth and so on, right? So the brothers did what we supposed to do. The brothers came out to that store, spoke with those people, and then told them, we're not buying nothing from you no more. You refuse to apologize. You put your hands on one of our sisters. We're going to stay out here. We're going to pick it. And as we see black people coming up, we're going to let them know what you did, so forth and so on. Well, the way the Asian owner responded to that is he put weaves on sale for 50% off. And black women lined up in droves. And he was only letting them in 2 at a time, right? So the black men were out there trying to tell the sisters, we can't do this, you know what I mean? Like, don't let them look how they treat you, you know? Like, they know that we are getting your mind in a position where you're not going to allow them to treat you a certain way, and they think, well, they can bring you back just by reducing the price. 2 of the sisters in particular literally went over to the men and cussed them out. You don't do nothing for me, you know what I mean? Like, this is my life, blah, blah, blah. So, like, what is your recommendation on how we can, like, convince other sisters, like, we got to stand strong when we go against these people and say, we're not going to continue to give us, you know, give you our money when you're not treating us correctly. Because I felt so bad for the brothers that was out there doing it. Because the one sister actually started throwing stuff at them. And I'm just like, you know, like they weren't seeing the big picture. So, like, what is your take on something like that?
My take on something like that is,
you know what I mean? Like, what could we have said to those sisters to make them understand how important it is to show these other owners that you're not going to bring us back just because you're reducing the price. And then you're still only letting us in 2 at a time. So you're still showing us you don't trust us.
Right.
You get what I mean? So, like, I was just wondering what your take would be on that.
My take on that is, some people you have to charge to the game. Leave those people behind.
Okay.
If they cannot see it, you cannot force them to see it. You see what I'm saying? And you have to, and you almost can't blame them. All right? You almost can't blame them. Reason being, again, people are not used to seeing this face own a beauty supply. It is programming. It is.
It is programming, definitely.
You almost cannot blame them. And I think that there is a big animosity between black men and black women right now because black men tend to do this, right? They want to do their finger like this. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. And unlike, all right, I want to make it sound that bad, but unlike many other communities, right? The Asian community, the white community, the Jewish community, the Latino community, those men put infrastructures in place where the women, if there's, listen, I'm from New York. There are, or I used to live in New York. There are areas in New York where the Latin people don't even have to learn English.
Yes, I like that.
Okay? That is because
it's a language barrier.
The men go there and they set up, they got their bodegas, they got their Dominican salons, they have, everything has been put in place. They got their church, their salon, their cemetery, they have everything put in place where as a Latino person in that community, you literally do not have to leave the community to get what you want.
Right.
So these people don't even have to learn English in America. So the men put the infrastructure in place. So I think, and I commend the brothers who try to do that, because that's what they're supposed to do. But I think black men have the protection down part right, but they don't have the building part down packed yet. And I think we need to work together on that, because you cannot tell someone to stop shopping somewhere when you have not provided a place for her to go.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, and that's probably a whole nother show right there.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
You know, so I have mixed feelings about it. I'm not saying that the ladies were right or wrong, and I'm not saying that the fellows were right or wrong. It's all about perspective, and also you have some people that are still lost, and you have to leave them behind. Like if we on this little train and we saying, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna uplift our community, you can't wait for them. Right. You gotta keep pushing and do what you're doing, and those who get it will get it.
Right, yeah, because I felt bad for him because he was trying to explain to the one that was the most angry. Like one of them literally came out the line, and he was like, sister, I'm doing this for y'all. Like we trying to protect y'all. You know, like the other sisters kind of just laid in the cut.
Right.
But like he was really, like she was ready to put her hands on him.
Right.
She was so mad that he was trying to tell her. And you know, he wasn't in her face or nothing. He was just in the background with the sign saying, this is what they done to y'all. We trying to stop it. So I was just wondering, from a woman's perspective, who's also in that game, what could he have done? You know what I mean?
Okay, a lot of people will look and say, like, out of you guys, do you guys think that marching and protesting is effective?
I personally do not. But
you a whole new dude that this woman don't know, and here you go once again doing this. Now maybe if he said, I don't know, maybe if he said there's a black beauty supply store right here.
Right.
There's one a block away. I watched a similar video where it was a similar situation, but you know what, the people that were out there, it was men, and this was led by men also, and I commended them, but they had another store, a black-owned beauty supply store for them to go to. They were literally directing them to another store. So what is the solution? You can't, and black women, we always get the blunt of that. Men telling us, oh, you shouldn't, I don't like my women with weave. I don't, you know, oh, that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. You know, but I think that I don't blame either one.
Right.
For what they were doing.
So it sounds like a solution may be, like if these men are going to do this, right, maybe they need to get some women involved with it to give them the proper approach with these women.
Yeah, they should have had, there should have been a whole meeting, community meeting about that. That before them just trying to, because you a fresh whole dude that the lady don't know.
Which is interesting because that is what she said. She was like, you don't know me.
I don't know
like, you don't do nothing for me, blah, blah, blah. So I get it.
And she probably, you know, 2 seconds ago had an argument with Ray Ray. You don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You just, you know.
True.
So I think there's better ways to go about stuff.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I thought your input on that would be very valuable, being that you're in that industry. You get what I mean? Very, very valuable.
And I know a lot of the men who saw that video, oh, I can imagine. Did y'all read the comments on that video?
I didn't, because it'd just be too much.
I bet you in the comment section, black men, once again, was going in on those black women.
I'm sure they were.
Not looking at anything from our point of view, or I can guarantee you that they were dragging those women.
I would definitely bet my money on
that.
Yeah, I would bet my money on that.
That really was a good answer. I mean, if they was offering them an alternative.
Right.
Yeah, at least if you're going to be
that's definitely a different perspective.
Yeah, that lady don't know him.
Right.
You know, she's just a whole person just out there. You know, I don't know you. Why am I going to listen to you telling me? And I got a wedding to go to. I need to get this hair real quick. You know, you in my way.
She definitely told him that.
Oh,
she was like, you don't do nothing for me. I don't know you. That was interesting. But I love the fact that it's even being on the forefront. You know, like I've also seen videos. It's two sisters. I can't remember their name, but they opened a beauty salon. But they showed a couple other ones that they shut down because of the treatment that they were doing, and they was able to rally black people and say, "Listen, we're not giving them no more of our money." And it actually worked. Where they put the it was in Chicago. They put them out of business. Yeah, they put them out of business.
Big ups to Devin Robinson. He's a Caribbean brother that he's been locking down Asian beauty supply stores for years.
Maybe it's him.
Devin Robinson. He's a Jamaican guy.
It could be him because he was standing in front of the store pointing at the sign that said closed. You know what I mean? And pointing to the camera like, we did this. It was beautiful.
For years.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
But see, that is something that's orchestrated. It's not a surprise to the public. It's orchestrated. These people have meetings, and it is a well organized. If you're gonna boycott, that's not the way to just go. You know, you don't just wake up on Sunday and be like, okay, we just gonna boycott. It has to be orchestrated. And once again, I think the black man has the protection side down, but they need to get the building side down. And to build, you need black women with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think that has been the key to keeping us down, is making sure the black man and the black woman don't get along. You get what I mean? Yes. So if we can get along, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. All right, so what can we expect on your grand opening? What's going to be going on that day? I know you're going to have the mayor there for the ribbon cutting ceremony. What else you got going on?
Well, I'm going to have, for the first 100 customers, I will be giving you a free gift.
Nice.
Because I appreciate you and I appreciate your patronage. And I want to just say, I have my other sponsors. I have another sponsor that will be providing something in that gift bag from the Massage Boutique. That is a boutique in Baltimore. I think she's in the Woodlawn area, so you guys go and support her. Go on her page. It's called the Massage Boutique. And big ups to Ryan the Lion, who also helped me. You guys go on his page. He also helped me with promoting and things like that. So these are some of the things that people can expect. They can expect nice gifts from our sponsors in the bags. My VIP people will be getting food. So if any of the Black by Demand team members,
I'll be there. Yes, very excited.
From Tashi's aunt, they're on Liberty Road, and their jerk chicken is everything.
Right.
You know, so that's mostly what you'll get, and just good products at a reasonable price, and you will be getting not just somebody trying to sell you something in a store, but you're gonna get people who have product knowledge because we have the same hair type and skin type as you. So you're gonna be getting jewels. Jewels will be dropped about your hair, skin, and how to go about it. Things that our Korean brothers and sisters cannot help you with.
Yes.
And probably even if they, well, I ain't gonna say that. All right, they cannot help you. They just can't, you know. So we have insight that they don't have.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I think product knowledge is something that's been missing. Like I worked in retail in my younger years for like 10 years, and product knowledge was heavy. You know, like to be out on the sales floor, you had that product knowledge. You need to be able to answer questions that customers would possibly come with. You need to have an understanding of the products. And I noticed as years went on, this is kind of lacking now. You go ask someone something, you know, well, what does this do? They're like, look, I don't know. This is not even my shit. I'm filling in for Kelly. You know what I mean? It's not my department, right? So I think that's wonderful that you're going to have people in there that's actually going to have some product knowledge and be able to answer some questions. And I think that's going to help a lot, like you said, coming from our own people.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's not that someone else can't study us and learn a few things, but the truth is going to come from us.
Oh, they study us.
Oh yeah. Like ain't no tomorrow.
Us like they in college, okay? 4 to 5 years, study us, and then do their thing. They know exactly what they're doing. So, but you're absolutely correct. It's better to get the information from someone who struggles with the same issues as you and knows what the proper steps and solutions are for it.
So I'm gonna read a couple comments. So this is from Nate, this is our manager. Nate says, so that wedding was more important than the young lady that the man was handling? I guess that's in regards to us saying that she was probably going to a wedding.
Again, somebody who completely missed the picture.
Okay.
Yeah. You just gotta let him, if he can't get it, you know, charge him to the game. You
charge him to the game. Yeah, he says we can always justify bad behavior when it comes to black men and women against each other. Okay. I guess Nate feels like that was a justification.
I just feel like that was just what it is.
Just what it is.
It's what it is. We have been programmed. We're not used to seeing black people owning beauty supply stores, and that's just a simple fact. Like everything else, it's a system.
Right.
You understand? And once again, now if he provide a place for her to go, or if there was some preliminary stuff done ahead of time, you know, you just trying to catch women off guard like that, it's not gonna end well. Yeah, it's not. You know, and I'm not saying it's his fault. I believe he was doing in his heart what he think was the right thing to do, and I commend him for that. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying you have to look at both sides. You understand? People always want to. They change things around to you know, to show their narrative or their belief. Yeah. So he wants to continue to make it what's it, gender thing, like men against women, or try once again doing this to black women, where we get the blunt of that stuff. That's the narrative he wants to push. So that's why that's all he got out of what I said. Okay. You know. Okay.
And I wholeheartedly believe too that, like you said, it's programming. You have to remember, you know, a lot of folks not programmed to listen to black men either. So even with
I don't think anybody's programmed to listen to black men.
So even with the black men,
I ain't programmed to listen to them.
even with the black men standing there, like, don't go in there, like.
Well, he handled her well because she was irate and out of control. And he was just like, sister, I'm not here to beef with you. I'm just simply telling you, we're trying to stop this, you know what I mean? To a point where other sisters came out the line and grabbed her and said, babe, come on, baby. You know, like, we ain't got to do that. Like, we not stopping from going in here, but we not running down there about attacking either. You know what I mean? So it was other sisters that did pull her away.
Mental health is real. I think we're the only ones that's not allowed to have a bad day.
Exactly.
We're the only ones that get scrutinized. Like, if it was a different woman of a different race and she did that, it was like, oh, she might have been depressed.
Sure, right.
She's bipolar. You know, those excuses don't fly with black women. And once again, we carry, you know, what's that guy name? He said a beautiful speech at the BET Award. Black women carry the brunt of everything in the black community.
He did. I remember.
What's his name? He's
the
big guy.
Jesse did. He did say that.
Brother, if you have a problem with what I said, go and watch the BET clip of Jesse Williams. It is not a lie. That's why black women are suffering with some of the worst illnesses: high blood pressure, diabetes, and stress, alopecia, which is from stress. We are the mamas, and we carry the brunt of the negative things to the, you know, in the community. Okay. You know, so that's the way I look at it.
Right. Gotcha.
I'm not saying that black men aren't getting shot out in these streets.
Right.
They are. But again, who's out there protesting? Do y'all see any other race of people out there protesting? No, it's the women. It's black women.
Right.
You know, so that's a whole nother show.
Well, according to Essence, black women actually spend $7.5 billion annually on beauty products, and spend 80% more on cosmetics and skincare than the public altogether. So it's definitely a lucrative industry.
Yeah, totally.
Right, so we should be controlling that, you know what I mean, with those type of numbers. You know what I mean, those type of numbers.
I agree.
And like I said, I'm a master barber, so I'm also in the beauty field.
There you go.
And I can't wait to come to your store and get me some stuff. I gotta keep this melanin popping, right? Can't wait to get some natural products.
You have a hard time. You already popped.
Well, thank you very much. Oh God, if I had my belt, you got two right? Black Body Man Radio Show. Okay, so look, so we are up on another break. Stay with us. It's the Black Body Man Radio Show. We are here with our special guest, Ms. Kay Davis, and she is opening the Truffle Butters Hair Emporium in Baltimore. Come down and check her out on the 17th for her grand welcome. We'll be right back. Nice.
I think I got all the sponsors out. I want to maybe, can I mention the nonprofit one more time?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple minutes to close it out.
Okay, all right, cool. Right now? Yeah, right now. Okay, all right, we live. And we're back. Okay, so look, so today's show has been great. We've had fun. You know, we went over 5 industries that should be dominated by black people based on consumption. And we have had the honor of having Ms. Kay Davis with us here this evening. And she happens to be a business owner in the beauty and personal care industry. And again, it's called Truffle Butters Hair Emporium. Okay, this is going to be an all-natural hair store, but she will also carry traditional products as well. You guys make sure you come out and check her out on the 17th, which is what, this Saturday?
Yes. This Saturday at noon.
At noon, which is perfect for us because we don't get up that early on Saturdays.
Right.
So yeah, so we definitely thank you for coming and hanging out with us today.
Definitely.
And it's a pleasure to have you on our team for this brief moment. And as she stated earlier, I've had conversations with this young lady, and she definitely gave me a jewel, you know. So, and by the way, I have the Patreon account open, right? So I'll be launching that real soon, just kind of getting my rewards together. So I want to thank you for that info. And that's what we're supposed to do with each other.
Yes.
And that's kind of the basis of the Black Body Man Radio Show. Like, we try to provide knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and we're doing it for free. So I may have read the book, and I know that other people don't have time to do it. I'll give you the Cliff Notes for free, right? Tune in, you know, we'll get the Cliff Notes for free. So again, we thank you for coming. Here's our flyer. I don't know if you guys can see this, but just look at the image alone. When I first seen this image, it reminded me of Lauryn Hill's cover for her album. Look, there's nothing more powerful than the image of a black woman with an afro. I mean, let's do this. You don't even
know it's great. You
already know what this is. This is absolute power.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And again, Ms. Davis, we thank you for sitting in with us. And you have an open invite to come back and join us anytime. On topics that we talk about. We love your input.
Thank you.
You know, because I feel like as black people, right? Whatever the subject is that I discuss, everybody black is qualified to have an answer.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're all in the same boat. Doesn't have to be experts. Like I tell people, we discuss facts, opinions, and perspectives. Sometimes it's facts, sometimes it's opinions, sometimes it's perspectives. But I think just having these type of conversations stimulate a different type of thought process. Yes. You know what I mean? And get us looking in a different direction. So I want you to know that here at the Black Body Man Radio Show, we are very proud of you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we thank you for
Congratulations.
doing it. We can't wait to send people your way. I'm going to continue to put it in people's ear, you know, and let them know where you're at.
Open up the floodgates.
That's right. We're going to open up the floodgates. So we thank everybody for tuning in with us today. On behalf of my guest, Ms. Kay Davis, my co-host, the lovely Ms.Janice, as well as our awesome team member, Ms. Samantha Glam by Sam. I'm your boy, Brother Mike. You already know. I'll catch you on the flip side. That's the black side. Peace.
Peace.
Nice.
Round of applause. That was great.
Be Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
period.
Real. Right. That's the real deal.
It's period.
Right. And all that old money shouldn't go toward this, money should go to, if the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week, you don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once a month maybe, or once every 3 months.
Right.
You